Yes, don't forget to log on to doggydiamondstv.com. That is my official website. Log on to doggydiamondstv.com. On there, you can leave me a message. I think somebody left me some audio messages, and I got to check those, as well as you can shop, as well as you can see all the content that you might have missed that you didn't see in your YouTube feed. Sometimes you don't see it in your feed. That don't mean I didn't drop content. And if you don't search my page, you can go log on to doggydiamondstv.com. It'll definitely be there. Also, man, have you heard about my $200 social media promotion deal? If you didn't, I'm going to give you the details real quick. The promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV account. That's on the Insta Stories, YouTube community, Threads, Facebook, Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. But as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you get in front of over 500 to 600,000 people with a post on my various social media outlets that I named earlier with your product. It could be your YouTube. It could be your song, your T-shirts, your book, whatever it is that you need promotion for. I can definitely get you in front of those folks with my promotion that I offer. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. And although I tell people to contact at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram, some people still go to Doggie Diamonds TV. Whatever, I guess I got to deal with that too. That is my brand as well. So if you want to go to Doggie Diamonds TV, I guess I just got to, if I get dealt with, I get dealt with. Yes, so as you come into the room, we got Rashawn Green in the building. Boss 100 is in the building. Chief Black, yes, you caught it live. I am live. Chakra King was good. Meltron 8000 is in the building. Don Diego, what's up? Nisa Shabazz, always showing support. Bernadette Bernie is here. Check Viz Online is always here as well. City Boy Floyd is here. Grump Bundy 716 is here. Raheem Jackson, what's up to you? Nate Jackson, what's up? Achieve to Succeed. That's a dope name. I like that. No, everybody's tired of the little. Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But Click in the View, what's up? That's a fire name. Lace and Jiddle, what's up? Mumu74, what's up? Peter Truth, what's going on? Rizzo07, what's up? And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Rochelle Love, what's up? Rashawn Greer, how are you doing? Antoine, what's up? Make sure you hit that like button. Live 623, what's up? Peter Truth, I see you. Lo-Fi Machine 0 is in the building. Elmatic, what's up? Reggie T, what's going on with you? Yes, I'm here. Got some questions for y'all. The Mac Mizzle Show, what's up? Eduardo Espinoza is in the building. Brooklyn Capo is in the building. Ben Garcia, what's up? What's up? I see y'all in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Dub P, what's up? Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Yes, sometimes I gotta do it twice. You know what I'm saying? To let y'all know that it's real. You know what I'm saying? Vera Mack, I didn't see you. I saw you and I forgot to say your name. I apologize. Vera Mack from B-More's in the building. How you doing? How you doing? See, I got the do right? I got the do. You drink Mountain Dew? Ha. I was in the supermarket today and this lady next to me said, some dew. I was like, what? Bernard, what's up? I was like, huh? I was like, you from Baltimore? She was like, yup. I said, yeah, I heard the dew. I wonder where y'all get that from. It's very, very distinct. I wonder where it derives from. Where the dew, the two, the dew. You know what I'm saying? Yes. New Orleans is in the building, the 504. New Orleans, no. Is it New Orleans? That always say baby for everything? Yeah. Yeah, baby. They always say baby for everything. What's up, everybody? I'll go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. First of all, I'm good. But I was in the fender bender today, and I feel, I'm good. I gotta go get checked out tomorrow. I just wanted to go home and just relax for a little while. But I was in a fender bender today. I'm not saying pause. Somebody rear-ended me today. And what made it so bad, it was an OG, man, like a elderly black man, and I just felt bad, but yo, he hit me hard, man. Like, he hit me hard. I was like, damn. I couldn't even go nowhere. Like, I seen him coming. I'm like, yo, he gonna hit the brake. He gonna hit the brake. He gonna hit the brake. So I'm gonna get up in the morning and go to urgent care and make sure that I'm good, because he rocked me. He rocked me, and I like to show, if I could show y'all the picture, like he rocked me. Like, yo, he rocked me. Then he showed me he had knee surgery. I'm like, yo, Pop, you ain't supposed to be driving then. Know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be driving, so I don't know if y'all can see this. He rocked me, like, yeah, he rocked me, man. You see the front of his car, the black car? He rocked me though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he rocked me. he rocked me over here on the, which would be the left, but the right to you. He knocked like a piece of my bumper off and knocked my tailpipe in. He rocked me. I was like, yo, I was on the phone with Tad. I was like, pow. I was like, yo, I just got rocked. And for the first time in my life, I called 911. I didn't even know what to do. And then I felt bad because he was, he's an older man. He looked like he was about 78, 79. So I'm like, he got out the car. He was kind of shaking. I'm like, yo, Pop, it's all right. He's giving me his insurance. I was like, yo, I don't really know what to do in these situations. Let's call 911. Let them come tell us what the next what the next step should be, because I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But they came pretty fast. Time out on that. But they showed up pretty fast, and he gave me his insurance. I'm full insurance, license, everything is intact. But he, the police was like, he was in the wrong because he was so. Then he told me he had knee surgery. So he showed me his knee, and it was his right knee. So it's like the best thing to do is, I thought would be, I watch a lot of court shows. So you get the cops to come, they ticket the wrong party, and then that's the best thing to do. But like I say, he was an elderly black man, so I don't get no thrill or joy out of it. He might have, respectfully, he might not be, he might be too old to drive still, but he had knee surgery as well. So he rocked the hell out of me, though. I was on the phone with Tad. I said, yo, I was like, yo, I just got rocked. Yo, it was just out of control. But I just wanted to go home and just lay down for a little while. So I'm like, all right, the police statement, he got the ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get a ticket. My everything is intact. So I just wanted to, because I don't know the procedure. We could exchange insurance, but then I'm like, what if I call his insurance and his insurance say, yo, he didn't do it, or he said he didn't do it. So I was like, nah, let me just call the fuzz, man, and have them sort it out, because that's the best thing to do in them situations. And I know of people who said, yo, we'll handle it, and then they just get low on you. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I just was just like, yo, I was like, it was like 911. I was like, I gotta, I was like, somebody just rear into me. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know who to call. I started to call Ghostbusters or something like that. I don't know who to call, but yeah, I got all the information that I need. Police report, everything, and again, he got the ticket. I didn't get a ticket. He got a ticket. You know what I'm saying? They were just like, yo, you can go. You know what I'm saying? So again, the best thing to do is handle it the most legal way you can. You know what I'm saying? I had to call the fuzz. I was like, fuck do I do? I never dialed 911 in my life. So I was like, damn. But like I said, my paperwork is beyond up there. But I felt bad because he was an older man. So I was like, yo, Pop, just sit down. You know what I'm saying? Wait till wait till the cops come to sort everything for us, and we'll just figure it out from there, because I don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. He gave me his insurance. He gave me everything, and I'm like, what I'm supposed to do with this? I'm like, yo, nah, I ain't no lawyer. I ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, I held it though. I did hold his insurance. And what made it so bad, he couldn't even drive off. He had to get pushed off the side of the road. So yeah. So it is what it is. I had to in those situations, one of the things that we don't do because we dumb is we think of nigger ways and nigger ways to handle shit. You know what I'm saying? And that don't always fly in the courts of law and legal shit. I'm very, very legal. I'm not a criminal, and I don't have no illegal business. So, if I'm coming from my place of work and I'm walking, I had to do, you got to do what you got to do. And I see some of y'all making jokes, but I'm going to be real with you. I kind of really don't think that shit is funny, because dudes run with narratives, and although we laugh and joke, I'm not a nigga. So anytime that I need police assistance, I'm calling, which is the first time in my life. I've never been into an accident before, you know what I'm saying? But, niggas like running with shit and making it a joke when I'm legal. Everything I got is legal. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legal beagle, for real. And I worked hard to change my life to be legal, to where I could have legal documents for everything. Everybody can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't say they got a passport. They got an open carry license. They got a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna let nobody under the table me. Here go this. Nah. My truck too valuable. You know what I'm saying? So I want mine. But yeah, that was that. You gotta handle your business. You gotta handle your business correctly. And like I said, I really wanted I just wanted to make sure OG was okay. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I have to be still concerned from him, even though he's in the wrong, but he's still my elder. So I still had to be like, yo, Pop, sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, just relax. And he was scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm a young, agile dude getting out the whip. You know what I'm saying? And he by himself. He an elderly man. Like, I could mush him or just, you know what I'm saying, put him in a sharpshooter or something like that, And I see an elder, especially I see an elder black man, I automatically fall into line. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get out, what the fuck? I'm going to fall into, this Pop right here. So I gotta, even though he's wrong, I still have to respect him. You know what I'm saying? Because he is grandfather age to me. You know what I'm saying? And so he could have an excuse or whatever, but I'm still gotta fall in line, and that's the thing with me. Like, when I see my elders and I see children, I gotta fall in line to, this is a child's mind that I have to, be careful with. I don't want to pump the wrong information in their mind. And then when it comes to my elders, he's my elder. So even though he's wrong, I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Pop, just sit down, because he said his leg was hurting. And I was like, Pop, just sit down, relax. Everything gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? We good. You know what I'm saying? We good. Let's just figure it out legally what it is that we need to do. And in those situations, we just got to do what we got to do, because that's why we pay insurance, right? That's why my insurance is what it is. And it's a good thing that I do have the car that I have, because he rocked me. You know what I'm saying? And I treated him like I would want to be treated, or somebody, treated my grandpops if I had one or whatever. So, I didn't want to make him scared, because he's already scared and nervous. He know he's in the wrong. He rocked me, I just wasn't expecting nothing like that. I was on the phone with Tad. Yo, I just got rocked. He said, your whip? I said, yeah, I just got rocked. I was like, oh, man, I thought the back of my car was going to be lit, but, my lip was going to be, and then his whip was done off. So, I just didn't want him. I just didn't want to scare him. You know what I'm saying? He looked about 78, 79 years old. I didn't want to scare him. And that was the most important thing, to let him be known. And then I called him for his safety too, because I wanted him to feel safe. So if the police come, he would feel more safe with them there. Because I could, sometimes people go off the deep end. You hit my mother, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to handle him like that. I don't think that was right. So moving right along. Today's topic that I want to talk about, whatever y'all been watching, because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really feel like, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. That's why I'm asking the audience. The audience, has the final say at the end of it all. What I think doesn't always count for what it is. The audience has the final say. But as I look through the blogosphere and I look through some of the YouTube pages, I'm looking for that thing that got me hooked. I'm looking for that thing that I'm like, I can't wait for this to come on. I'm looking for that. And I haven't really been seeing it like that. And I want to know, I see a lot of everybody views is down. I don't know what's going on platform wise, but everybody views is down. Some people putting out new content. I don't even see it, can't find it. I'm subscribed to their channel. I'm supposed to get the notifications. It's a lot going on. So I'm trying to figure out, what have y'all been watching? Because I'm going to be real with you. Certain things just don't interest me. And it's not that it's bad. It just don't interest me, and I go through everybody's channel. I peek into what everybody's doing. I could say, and I'm not being biased. Bagfuel just did Bagfuel just did an interview with Kid Capri that I really love, because let me tell you my favorite interviews. And the super chat is open, by the way, too, and the Cash App is available too. So Bagfield did an interview with Kid Capri. I like those type of interviews, because Kid Capri could come from the executive side, from the artist side, the DJ side, and just the veteran side. So I like the Kid. I really like the Kid Capri interview, and if you haven't watched it, I would say go watch that, because Kid Capri is just just a G. He's been around for some time now, and he could go back to the mixtapes, and many of you don't know about the mixtapes and the mixtape culture, and he could take you back to a time where that's where you had to have your music at, on the mixtapes. And I'm not talking about Dat Piff and stuff like that. I'm just talking about that. So I really, really enjoyed that. But I find myself watching wrestling interviews and shit like that. Like I'm a big wrestling fanatic. So I was just watching one today. It's a little ahead of y'all time, where Iceman King Parsons, he was a part of he was on a lot of different regions, but he's more known for world class wrestling with the Von Erichs and stuff like that. But I've been really looking around, and I'm like, I don't. A lot of the interviews. All right, I do interviews. If I seen this interview before, I'm not watching it because it's on your platform. I'll just be real with you. Like, I see some platforms, and I'm not trying to diss nobody. I'm not singling nobody out, but some of this shit getting a little redundant. Like, I love. All right, if I saw one Big Homie CC interview, I seen them all. Suge Knight. Like I think some of that is kind of hurting the culture a little bit, because it's not anything new. It's not nothing revealing. And reason why I'm saying this, hip hop is about discovery, right? Discovery in hip hop. For example, it starts with discovering a dope sample. So whether it's the rapper or the producer, we hear these dope records and we say, yo, I want to use that. Oh, I want to make something out of that, right? So we hear a sample and the producer, flips the beat or whatever, or the rapper brings the sample to a producer and say, can you flip this for me? So that's the art of discovery. Then you discover new producers, you discover new loops, you discover new things, right? And hold on. We're not even gonna worry about this. Get you up out of here real quick. You discover new things. You discover new rappers that's dope. It's just like always discovery. So when it comes to information, when I started doing interviews, my thing was to bring information. I want you to learn something about somebody that you didn't know. I can't like nowadays it became cool to just blatantly redo somebody's interview. It's just cool for somebody to say something here and then you ask them the same question. I don't like that. So sometimes when I look at stuff, I be like, yo, I seen this on this platform. I seen this on here. Like, why is it the same interview all over again? Like, no new things happen since you said that last time. So why is that being said again? Why is that being said again? And then I look at stuff now and people acting like they never heard it before. And I'll be like, y'all didn't hear that when it was over there? So for example, I interviewed DeHaven some time ago. DeHaven did a couple of interviews. Shout out to DeHaven. He did the Blue Couch. He did big numbers on the Blue Couch. But I put out a clip of DeHaven because I got a bunch of clips that I just never put out from my interviews, And then it seemed like when I put out something, I hear people say, oh, this is old. Why he don't get over it? But I'm like, I did it first. Like, this is from my shit that I did. Like, and I asked them different questions that you'd never heard this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they'll watch it on somebody else, like, tuned in. But I was like, yo, what is that all about? Why come when I put something out, people, oh, this is old. We saw this already. Oh, but when it's on that platform, you sit there and watch it like you never saw it. I don't understand that. So I was wondering, like, because we got so-called heavyweights in this podcast, YouTube world, right? And the heavyweights, in my opinion, that people would consider would be the heavyweights would be The Breakfast Club. It would be considered Vlad. It would be considered No Jumper. It would be considered Joe Button. It would be considered Drink Champs and Academics. So when I watch those platforms, and whoever else think they belong there, that's your opinion, and that's fine. But as I watch these things, I be like, am I learning anything from any of these things? Should I be watching any of these things? And Joe Button's podcast is not interview-based. It's personality-based. So you have all these personalities meshing. You have the Mark Lamar Hill, you got Ice, you got Ish, you got Melissa Ford, you got Queen's Flip, you got Joe and Imani. And they sit there and they have their dialogue. But sometimes I'll be wondering, like, do I give a fuck about this? Sometimes I wonder, like, are they talking about, and this is not a knock on them, what they do is great, but I'm just talking about me. Like, do I care about this? Do I care about this? And sometimes I find myself saying, I don't really want to see Ish, like, why? Well, I don't want to do that. But I don't want to see him complaining. I don't want to see him and Joe arguing, like every other show, Melissa Ford doing her sexism shit, gender shit. I don't, but it's one of the top things. And I'd be like, why don't this resonate with me? You know, I liked it a little bit more when it was scaled back, but now it just seemed like it's too many guests. And then it's just like, too many hosts. And then it's like, niggas was talking about Drake for like 3 months in a row, 4 or 5 months, or like, Drake and Kendrick for like every time. And I was like, damn, I want to pick up stuff from this. I want to learn from this, but I don't get what I could take from this to enhance my ability or learn something that I didn't know. I don't see that, but they one of the top shows. Corey Holcomb is dope. I like Corey Holcomb too. Corey Holcomb is dope. Corey Holcomb be having me weak. Vlad has too many recurring guests, if that makes any sense. But it's top content. Like, people, fuck with it. In his defense, he's interviewed a lot of people. But what I don't like is when I look at content and it's somebody that I respect and they're talking about something that don't got shit to do with them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I rather if I'm gonna watch Tony Yayo, that's my guy. But I want to hear some of that G-Unit shit. It's still a mystery to G-Unit shit. And it's like, is he under a gag order? Could he not say certain things? Or is Vlad not extracting it from him? Because I don't want to hear Tony Yayo talk about Young Thug case or what's going on with Young Scooter. I really don't like that. I would like, yo, what happened? Because, you got them stories, bro. Like, you got something that you was able to experience something and see something that we never would be inside to see. Never. We want to hear that. We want to hear, when we did this record, or I was there when this record happened, and this person walked in the studio and they were supposed to be on this record. That to me is fire, because New York City, if you're from New York like me, then you would know that G-Unit, Dipset, The Lox is the ultimate content when it comes from New York. So I would want to ask Yayo, what was it like when you got out of prison, you had $1 million, what was the stupid shit you bought? And then you might hear him say, I went and bought a puppy that was $4,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just know how to ask these questions to extract information out of people that we don't know. Sometimes it's redundant to talk about certain things because now we're talking about pop culture. That's why, like, when I come here, some nights I don't talk about what's going on. I want to create my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I'm supposed to talk about tonight, I do that on the rundown. But if I'm going to talk to y'all for an hour, I want to talk about shit that, so I like what Cam is doing. Shout out to Sin City. I know Sin City personally. I know Cam too. I like what they doing a little bit. They're still a little fresh. I think that could get better. It's gonna get better. I watched Gillian Wallow. The only issue that I have with Gillian Wallow, and this might be the dynamic that people love. I feel like Wallow is serious. I feel like Wallow really, really, really cares. I feel like Wallow is getting that what we need from the guests. he's asking them critical questions. And then as Wallow is serious and I'm engaging, Gilly start playing or something like that, or ask some nigga shit. So it's like, yo, you just fucked that up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I like what Wallow be having to say, but then I feel like Gilly playing. And there's a difference between having fun and playing, because when you fuck up the stories is what's carrying the culture. When I used to do long form interviews for the come up, because I started the long form shit, Fendi was like, the interview was too long. And I'm like, nah, bro. Look at what I'm getting. Oh, and this is the next one. This is the next story time that I'm doing. I want to let y'all know, so stay tuned for this. I'm actually going to do it tonight and try to get it out for y'all, at least by tomorrow. This is the next story time that I'm doing. So y'all know I do story times to tell you about my, adventures in the culture and stuff like that. It's going to be what happened on interview sets and all that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do this because there's some stuff about that interview that, that y'all don't know. So that's my next one that I'm going to do. I just feel like sometimes when this interview is serious and we getting this information and then you come start playing, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just messed that up. I think who is one to watch for is my man Johnny Mac, Philly First 48. I do like that. Philly First 48, Johnny Mac is dope. I rock with Johnny Mac. I think that's gonna be I think he got an interview out with Quilly. I think if Philly really get behind him as a media personality, I think that could be something big. But Philly seemed like it's very, very political. But I like what Johnny Mac is doing. Also, Corey Holcomb. I can't get past Corey Holcomb. I really, really like Corey Holcomb. I missed the Urban X podcast, man. Malcolm and Black Dot. Black Dot is so deep in like to converse with Black. Let me tell you something about Black Dot. That's my that's my homie. Black Dot. You could converse with him and you could have a simple conversation. Thank you, Neltron 8000. You could have a simple conversation with Black Dot, and he's so sharp that he could take you down a rabbit hole and you'd be like, oh shit. Sometimes he was connecting stuff for me because he connected some real deep stuff for me one day that I was like, yo. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo. And it be sidebars. That's why I got to get Black Dot on here. I don't know if I had Black Dot number in my phone. I think I had it in my own. I think I might have had Black Dot phone in my Android, and I no longer have that phone. Let me see if I got it, man. That's the big bro right there, man. Like, I don't really call too many people my big brother, but Black Dot is I got Black Dot. Let me see if I could get him on the jack. Let me see if I could get him on the jack. Hold on. Call him right now. Let me call him.
Please leave your message for...
Got the phone off. Maybe he'll call me back, but yeah, A.A. Rashid is my Sandbox brother, so I've been around that my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I've been around A.A. Rashid like since we were little single-digit kids, so that's, maybe I take it for granted because it's common. That's my brother. So I've been heard that, not the stories, but I hear it so much. You know what I'm saying? It's just regular. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. Let me see if I could get A.A. Rashid on the phone. But it ain't an issue, but hold on. Let me see if I could get him on the phone for y'all. Peace, what's going on, bro? I'm live on
What
YouTube.
you, Doggie?
I'm live on YouTube and the people calling for you. What you working on, bro? What could we update the people with?
Right now, I'm in Virginia. We doing a lot of visual art plays. So I did a art show tonight, and now we at the beat section. So we doing music. So this a lot of visual art stuff. This fueling the imagination of the people so they can, transcend the limits of normalcy. You know what I'm saying?
So where could they stay up with you to know what you got going on so they could, purchase some of that what you got going on?
Well, I got my website, that's myson.com.
Okay.
And I spell son, S-U-N.
Uh-huh.
And I also have, people could reach out on the Instagram. The gram is always a good space. For real, for real.
Give them the Instagram.
It's A.A. Rashid Art.
Okay.
A-A-R-A-S-H-I-D Art. For real.
Okay,
Word.
I missed the shit out you, bro. I'm gonna have to come over across that water and see you. Me and Tab been talking about it. So we go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we
and
go.
we planning on taking us a trip to Japan, man.
Woo.
All of our brothers who we grew up with. It's time for us to go over there and just soak up some of the culture. It was really reset my brain, bro. I've never been to a country where I've been respected that much in my entire life, bro. Just talking about it, it makes me get emotional.
I ain't gonna front you.
I've never been respected enough, bro.
Yo, you gave
in our
me.
entire existence.
You gave me
For real.
goosebumps telling me that because I know what it is, and we love the love, Brooklyn. So, bro, I'm gonna tap in with you later on, definitely for sure. Love you to death, bro.
All right, I love you more, doggy. Peace
All right,
to God.
later on, peace. Yeah, that's my brother right there. So, calling him is, that's just we talk anyway. But I actually miss him in the physical. When I go to LA, bro, we here. You know what I'm saying? And then we together all the time. But, like I said, maybe I take him for granted a little bit because I was always around it. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me a lot of information. You get what I'm saying? Like like I said, him and Black Dot be so deep sometimes, and you be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. Like, because what it is, no pun intended, the way Black Dot and AA could connect the dots to stuff. You know what I'm saying? So no pun intended with Black Dot, but the way they could connect the dots is just wow, man. And I got some lost AA content that I got to put out. Because, again, we since we was like 11, 10, 11 years old, this is what we've been talking about. And I remember he was like one of the first one that he was like, yo, y'all running around like savages. We was like, what? Like, what do you mean savages and shit? Because, we think savage, I think Tarzan or something like that. But he was like, yo, nah. But he was just like so light years ahead of what we needed to do because he was raised in consciousness. He was born into it. So he had the knowledge of self. And his cousin, my other brother, his biological cousin, who I call sometime Billy, William now is deep too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, again, I do miss him, like, yo, that's the bro. Like, we got to go see him. We got to go to the West Coast. But he in VA though. And then he's saying, and then he say he in Virginia. So yeah, that's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't know. That's just the bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no internet stuff. It's no industry stuff. And I'm glad that. Thank you, Chin Beats, and I'm glad that he's received. Well, you heard what he said. He went to Japan and got the most love he ever got in his life. Ain't that crazy? Because we live in the 50 states. And we could go around places and dudes would be like, oh, that's that dude, such and such, F him. But then we go to another country and we greeted like royalty, and that's just deep. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the bro right there. If you go, you holler at A.A. Rashid, just tell him I sent you. And another thing, what he has to say is so rare that if you don't get it in real time, you're not going to get it. Because I don't even think he saved his lives. He don't save a lot of stuff. So you better get it in real time because it's going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Vera Mickey, you said what happened to... All right, I'll explain that to you. Real talk, because the moderators know to, not show that situation any love, but being that you've been a long time supporter, I say this. I'm going to say this for y'all. If this was a team, somebody, say we was a football team, basketball team, whatever team, baseball team, sometimes people's conduct is detrimental to the team, detrimental to what the overall goal, plan, the conduct is not in code what we should be standing for. That's all I'm gonna say. And for those who know, it ain't nothing that you think, but it's deep. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. So, it's just something that some days I want to tell y'all because some of y'all should know, but then it's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? I just move how I move. You know what I'm saying? And it just let me say this. I work hard at building this shit. This year, February 1st, made 10 years of Doggie Diamonds TV. 2026 will make 20 years that I've been doing this. 20 years that I've been doing content. 20 years. 20 years. So anytime that I get put in a situation where something happens that could take everything that I built down that I'm not a part of, or I didn't indulge in that, then that's it for me. You get what I'm saying? Because I work hard at this. Y'all know I'm independent. You ain't never seen me do no clown shit. Whatever. So it'll be 20 years. I started in 2006. If you go look at the YouTube, 2006, reinventing myself, getting on camera, losing weight, growing facial hair. I'm always looking for, ways to reinvent myself and give y'all content that I didn't give you before. That's why I don't do recurring interviews. That's why I don't bring back, a lot of people that I had on there before. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna say this, if somebody does something or things and they don't want to be held accountable for what they doing, then they just gonna move away from you. Sometimes you don't even have to say nothing. It's just they don't want to be held accountable. And we know we in a culture where people think they don't need you. And I guess motherfuckers don't. It ain't about needing me, but I'm the type of person that I love people hard. Like, I don't love everybody. I'm just being real with you. I ain't one of them. I love people hard. Like, I do anything for you if I got love for you. And sometimes we think it's reciprocated, and it's really not. So if a motherfucker could say, I don't need you, it wasn't about whether you needed me or not, and it wasn't about me needing you. We were doing certain things for the greater good of situations. So if a motherfucker tell you he lost his job and you say, you know what? Fuck your job. You know what? Come over here. I'll make sure you good. I'll make sure. And then the motherfucker say, fuck. And then people say, you don't need that nigga. But a nigga once needed me. You get what I'm saying? Not to bring him up because I don't dwell on him. But that was, with Hassan Campbell, that was one of my main things that pissed me off when he said, I don't need him no more. But you once needed me and I showed up for you. So why would you tell your audience you don't need me? I never said you needed me. we had camaraderie. I thought I was helping you on the journey and the mission, and we figuring this out. I don't know if what I'm doing is the right thing. I just know that I'm using my platform to help the best way I know how, and I'm not always right. Right? I'm not always right, but I'm doing the best that I could. So when somebody say, I don't need you no more, when the fuck I never said you needed me. So why are you, is F me because you don't need me? Like, why would you say that? Like, what's the point of saying that? Cashmere Black said, in my opinion, a lot of black host podcasts, the conversation are intelligent, just a bunch of old war stories and gossip. I could agree with that. You know, even when they're getting the rappers into war stories and nobody's really talking about the music. But I want to go back there because a lot of times people think, you might think that I'm the individual who has issues, right? I don't. Again, me, I got demonetized, man. I got demonetized. Nobody else got demonetized but me. And I got demonetized because when the YouTube's terms of service changed, you wasn't allowed to talk about that. So all the Africa Bambaataa stuff I was talking about, it wasn't allowed no more. I didn't know that because I thought it's something that affects our community. It's something that was done under the guise of hip hop, in my opinion. So I got to take the charge. That's why I did so much. And I lost 6 months worth of money. Ain't nobody say, yo, damn, you was down and out for 6 months. I got you. Nobody say that. All they'll say is, oh, he's the graveyard. Oh, he's this, that, and the third. Or I'm like, but when niggas needed me, I showed up. You get what I'm saying? When niggas needed me, I showed up. Not only did I show up online, I showed up boots down, boots on the ground. You know, organizing press conferences. I did that. I did that. So to see somebody flip and then behind the scenes say, yo, I could have handled that better. I was wrong. But then they so narcissistic that they won't say, damn, I did my bro wrong. I'm sorry. Because we not pussy to say sorry. I say sorry all the time. But then you double and triple down on the disrespect to where, nah, I'm good. And I feel like that with anybody. Anybody who I was cool with that I'm not cool with, I don't want to rectify nothing with nobody because it's not genuine to me. You know what I'm saying? I've made some serious mistakes on this platform when it came to people. And then, you know, plenty of times I've come back and said, yo, I was wrong. I got videos. My song, I apologize. This one, I apologize. Yo, Lord Jamal, I was wrong. I do that because as I can use my platform to talk about somebody, when I'm wrong, you got to go out there and say you're wrong. The way you can't be wrong and strong. But I realize people succumb to shit that I've always had. What have I always had? Popularity. I've always been popular. You get what I'm saying? I've been popular since I was a baby. I've been popular. You know what I'm saying? G says, are you and Vlad ever going to get cool? I don't have a problem with Vlad. I've spoke about what my issues with Vlad was. If Vlad want to have a conversation, I think we could do that. I'm going to stand on what I stand on, though. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to reiterate what I said in his face, as I said online, as I did on one of these tapes when I said it in his face. And he could defend his point, but, you know, I guess it was, you know, we grew so far apart that once we was in the same facility based off of our affiliates. But I don't have a problem with what he do because he's successful. Like, you know, I've never seen people, you know, say so much that a person is this, a person is that, and they still be successful. So, because I'm like, shit, if they this and they that, you know, how are they still successful? You know what I'm saying? And I just don't watch certain dudes because, first of all, I'm never going to watch nobody who's been disrespectful towards me. Because what y'all don't know, I'm the black piece on the chessboard. I don't be going out on a limb talking about nobody, they content and shit. That's why I'm asking y'all, like, Horace Gully Jr. said, how do you maintain a generous heart after such betrayal seems almost impossible to do? Because it has a lot to do with your upbringing. Your upbringing shapes you as a man. And what I've learned lately is that a lot of people have no home training, they have no upbringing, and they didn't have no foundation. So they're winging it as they go along. And there were consequences for your actions coming up where I'm from. If you did something you had no business doing, somebody's going to put some blood in your mouth. If you said something you ain't had no business saying, you had to fight. You was going to get swung on. You had to swing. It's a different thing that you had to do. If you did something in the house you had no business doing, my grandmother was going to rock me. My older cousins was going to rock me. My older brother was going to rock me. So I couldn't walk around the crib and SMD my crib or tell my cousin this, that, and the third, because you know that there's a consequence for that. So you have to find a way to express yourself without being disrespectful. So now you find ways to have dialogue without anybody being offended. That's why even after the old man rocked me, I can say, yo, Pop, it's cool, man. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? You standing up shaking. You look nervous. You have no reason to be nervous. It's an accident, man. Accidents happen. We gonna handle this the legal way. I'm gonna make sure you safe because I know when the police come, he gonna feel safe. Although he's in the wrong. I didn't get out belligerent. I just got out and said, this is my first time ever being in an accident. I don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So what could we do? Dwan B, what's up? I was like, yo, I don't know what to do. So I wanted to ease him in his fears. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to ease his fears because, like I said, he's an elder. I gotta respect elder black man too. So I'm like, I see my elder, and you could tell when it's one of them down home Southern Black American men. That's what I saw when I saw him. So I said, nah, Pop, don't worry about it. We gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? You made a mistake. Let's just do what we gotta do. I didn't get out belligerent. Yo, mother. You hear what I'm saying? So even oh man, Cashmere Black said, I know it's been times you had to inconvenience yourself because of your values and principles and having integrity. Oh man. Damn, I don't know where to begin with that. Integrity is a personal journey. Like I said, it got a lot to do with my upbringing. Sometimes my niece is peeking in on me. She's 7. You know what she want to do now? She want to be a content creator. She want to do YouTube. Since she was born, all she knows is Uncle do YouTube. Uncle get her whatever she want, and Uncle this, and Uncle does YouTube. So if I can inspire a 7-year-old, I didn't inspire her because I'm an idiot or I'm, cursing and on here crazy. I inspire her because of the results, and I don't never look like a fool. So that's what she wants to do. So I do certain things because of who I know is watching me. Not how many people is watching me. Who's watching you is more important than how many people. Mantic, I covered the Joe Budden thing earlier. Like I said, I think they create their own narratives, the Joe Budden podcast, but I'm not really into some of the personal storylines that they have with each other. So it doesn't keep me entertained. You get what I'm saying? Like I could peek in and I could see certain things, but I don't keep up with their storylines enough because they all have their own personal storyline. Then they sit down together and then they have dialogue based off of their storylines. And then another thing with them is that they just covered Kendrick and Drake, just Drake in particular, for too long. And I really can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really the Drake content could be a little redundant. You know what? Does Vlad have an unfair advantage? I don't want to use that as an excuse. There's no excuses. If somebody is doing better than me, I will never make an excuse for why they're doing better. I just gotta try different tactics and do better things. That's just me. You know, so that's why I'll say log on to doggiediamondstv.com. And another thing, you know, with a lot of us black podcasters, Black American to be specific, some of our people don't follow instructions. So when we say hit the like, you just won't do it. We say leave a comment, just won't do it. And those instructions is being told to you because it helps us. Not because I see some people who say, well, if I don't like the video, I ain't hitting like. Yo, but you fuck with me, man. I'm not on here talking about platypuses and fucking eels and shit. I wouldn't like that neither. You wouldn't look at it. But if you sitting here watching me, why can't you hit the like button if you know it's gonna help? So people always say where you should be. You deserve this. You should do this. You do this. But then they won't help with the basic tools that you need to get that. You get what I'm saying? I like art. I like Art of Dialogue. I know Art personally. I have no issues or problem with him. If it's an interview that's that I like, I watch it. You know, I like Say Cheese too. I like Say Cheese. I like Say Cheese. I like Say Cheese. Some of the stuff he did is legendary in my opinion. Say Cheese. I think Art has done some legendary stuff. I like I like a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of stuff, but I haven't really seen anything that's been like, yo, I can't wait to see that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I got a lot of dope content for y'all, but sometimes I be a little apprehensive because I'm like, damn, it seemed like people, all right, let me give you this. In my opinion, it seems like people care more about criminality than they do music talk, music knowledge, backstories, and stuff that's cultural. I don't think people care about cultural stuff. So that's why sometimes I have an issue with, I be too cultural sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I be too cultural. And I just think it's a turnoff. And then I got a stigma on me. I like Candace Owens too. I don't watch everything that she do. But I like Candace Owens too. So I think people like messy stuff. I just think, you know, where we at in as people, we love anything that we see the demise of somebody. So when we see something that's a demise of somebody, we be like, and then we take it as like, it's law, you know, and it's like, he said, and I'm like, that nigga be lying. Like, look at, I don't be wanting to pick on her, but look at like people was really jacking that Jaguar right shit. I was the only person from the beginning that was like, yo, you know a lot of this shit is cap, right? Like, it's almost like, okay, he's gonna get locked up. See, I told y'all, but if somebody has this amount of accusations, after a while, you're gonna get locked up. Because you can't say, I was at the parties. So why your ass ain't in jail? And oh no, I was there and I helped with this and that. So you admitting to crimes, but then now you trying to run away? You know what I'm saying? I used to watch Black Magic 363. Me and him have a issue that we need to talk about or not. You know what I'm saying? I think he acted a little weird with me on something one day, and I ain't like the energy. You know what I'm saying? And respectfully, I don't think he's built like his energy. Like he, I seen him talk to people crazy, and I ain't like his energy. That's all I'm gonna say. And it wasn't directed at me per se, but it was kind of like a slight. And the first time I ever got on camera was his platform, not even mine. That's how down I was for dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes, the dudes, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But in person, I'm very confrontational. Very, very confrontational. And I think dudes know that. So the energy was weird on the phone, on the third party, but like I said, in person, we'll see, we'll see. So anytime I feel a vibe from somebody that I don't like, I want to see if you feel like that in person. You know what I'm saying? And, you feel like that in person, good luck. You know what I'm saying? So, but, I like Willie D too. I think, you know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that Willie D has all these dope ass interviews and they don't really get the views. That is discouraging for me sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Willie D got a lot of dope ass interviews. Some dope shit. And I was looking one day, I'm like, 700 views on why? So I couldn't understand. I was trying to understand. Hold on. Y'all not watching this? Why? You get what I'm saying? Why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why let's while we here, let's go to Willie D channel. I want to see something. Cause he has Willie D, his channel. Then he has like a Willie D conversations thing. And I didn't like Willie D interviews or something, I believe. Hold on. Willie D. It's not the live channel. It's not the live. It's definitely like conversations or something like that. It's not the Willie D live. Let me see. Willie D. Interviews. I think it's Willie D interviews or something like that. Willie D live conversations. So let's go here. 244,000 subscribers. All right, so help me understand this. And maybe y'all can educate me why this is the way it is. So let's look at this. He has 244,000 subscribers, right? He has Kathy Griffin on there. I don't know who that is. But he has Lunel. It's a 15-minute interview that was uploaded 10 hours ago and it got 1.5 views. Why? Why so little views? Guy Tory, it didn't even hit 1,000 views. Why? See, that's what I don't understand. Carlos Miller, big person, 4,000 views. Why doesn't this have 24,000? Because he has the members. 1.5K videos. He has the members. This guy's big comedian. It didn't even hit 1,000. It didn't even hit 800 views. So if you got Carlos Miller and Willie D debate why women can't forgive cheating, then this right here would be the follow-up. Why does that have 4,000? Slim Thug? If reparations for black... So people say they want content like that, but it ain't even hit 1,000 views. 1,000 views. Why? If Willie D is a staple in the culture, he is a veteran. He put it down. Why doesn't this have more than that? Cool Mo D had 700. So that's what I'm saying. So some of this shit discourages me. I'll be like, yo, man, I'd rather keep some of my content and try to, get a documentary situation before I just put it out there. Big U breaks down the internet. 2,000 views, Big U. You get what I'm saying? Like, why? I don't understand why these tidbits are not big. It's only going to take you Cool Mo D on keeping his distance from Africa. That's big to me. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, from a different generation. You get what I'm saying? That's Willie D. That's Willie D. Like, if Willie D of the legendary Ghetto Boys cannot hold your attention, he's not ignorant. He knows how to speak well. He has knowledge of the culture. He has knowledge of himself. If he can't get the views, then who can? But then you look and you'll see other channels that got all these views and all that. And I'm like, that Willie D content is crazy. And I be watching it because Cool Mo D. But again, maybe me being from a certain cloth, I know who Cool Mo D is. I would appreciate him. I would appreciate it. And I think when we get another thing that I think is a factor, when we get a certain age, our audience doesn't follow us and grow with us. Some of the most fake-ass righteous people who you think is conscious and got knowledge, I don't care if they Hebrew, I don't care if they Muslim, I don't care if they what they are. They love that ignorant shit. I'm telling you now, I know all of them. They don't be wanting to see nothing that's teaching and knowledge because they feel like they knowledge and they doctrine trump all of that. So if they can't watch it and argue with it, they feel like they can't learn from it. You get what I'm saying? They feel like, I want to debate that. So it's just weird because a lot of these dudes who you think you'll watch and you be like, yo, he on that. He not on that. He want to see all the fuck shit. He want to be on the all of the weird platforms. He want to anything where he could get some clout, she could get some clout. That's where they want to be. So when they got to come sit before somebody who's intelligent and speaking intelligence, they go automatically to their doctrine. They go automatically to whatever their school of thought is, and that's the end-all be-all, their school of thought. So although somebody like a Cool Mo D who had a damn deal with Jive Records, y'all see, again, you won't even understand how big that was for the culture. When you see people like that talking, because I'm saying, how the hell he get Cool Mo D? I need to get Cool Mo D. But see, I got so much integrity with interviews. I don't like to step on people's toes. I don't like to say, damn, I can't ask him that now. All I could do is say, yo, on Willie D show, you said this, but I still do that. But Willie D could be dropping it. They not gonna watch it. Anytime somebody dropping some information, the dudes who you respect, who you think is conscious, they don't watch it. They go right to the ratchet shit. They go right to, I'm telling you now, they go right to everything that you be like, you watch this? All right. Okay. Let me prove it to you. Anybody who you think has knowledge of self and conscious and you learn some stuff from, go to the Shade Room. If you follow them on Instagram, go to the Shade Room And I bet you see them liking it and in the comments. They always in 50 comments. It's like these dudes who are supposed to be dropping it and taking us, extracting us from a lot of this madness, they in that head first. But then they'll come on a platform or whatever their little platform is and act like they holier than thou. They be right in the mess. I'm just telling you, they be right in the mess. So that's why a lot of dudes don't be wanting to build no more. That's why dudes don't be wanting to really drop information and consciousness, because the people who's supposed to be doing it don't do it. And the people who's supposed to be doing it, again, they'll sit here, portray a role that that's what they about, but behind closed doors, deviance. So that's why a lot of that don't work no more. You know, look at all that work Sarnetta put in. Say what you want, Sarnetta brought the conscious community to the internet. And then you'll have people trying to tear that down. You get what I'm saying? Maybe it's his intro it seemed dry no matter who he brings in. It's sometimes for me. I get that. I'm not mad at, everything ain't for everybody every day. I get that. And thank you, Nettie Net, for the Cash App. I get that. But damn, man, like a dude getting like 500 views. So we don't watch the Willie D's. And Cam Capone, I know him personally, so I'm not dissing him. So if we not watching the Willie D's interview Kumo D's, the Lunels, and different people, right? So how does Cam Capone interview a X4, not singling him out, but an X4, and it does like 100,000? And the little homie got tats all over his face, and he's a part of. Is it us not supporting us, or is it the young dudes supporting that, or is it us supporting that? That's what I think is happening right now. So, because sometimes I see stuff, I'm like, damn, this shit got a lot of views. What was so special about this? And the nigga just be on there gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, I don't even understand none of this shit. I don't see the allure to it. None of that. You know what I'm saying? You said Lunel got numbers on Vlad. She got numbers on Drink Champs. And Willie D, I have her. And is it relative to the conversation? Like, is it, do you feel like it's the titles? I'm just trying to gauge what it is. Are the most entertainers in... I'm blind as hell. Comedians are the most insecure entertainers in the world. See, I would click that. Lunel on getting locked up after being on the run. See, I don't know. Yo, I said something about New York before. Now, I know he didn't watch me. I wouldn't say that. Yo, he said the exact same thing that I said about New York. He said that the drug dealer, watch this Kumo D on the current state of hip hop in New York bias. So a lot of times people be thinking I just be having wild takes and all that stuff. A lot of people agree with me on the low. They just don't really say it publicly. Is he cutting too many clips? I don't know. I'm just trying to gauge it. Some people I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. But Big U doing 1,000 views, and you got 244,000 subscribers. I don't know. I think he deserved more love than this. I don't know. I don't know what his formula is or why he do what he do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Scale Blazers that say too many clips, give me the whole video. But Vlad be having part 217 and people still watch it. You get what I'm saying? So again, many people is going to follow formulas that they see and deem to be successful. But then they have to say, why is this person successful at doing something and I'm not? I think that's what a lot of content people be trying to understand, because somebody said Willie D is boring. I'm going to say something too. It is an art and a skill. I'm like, hold on. I see my credit card purchase. I'm like, I ain't purchased nothing. I was sitting here minding my business. It is an art and a skill to interviewing. I'm going to tell y'all something about interviewing. If you are up and coming content creator or you create content, the best way to do interviews is the flow. It got to flow, man. You got to be sharp. And I don't think many people who do interviews, I'm not saying they're not sharp. I'm going to say they don't understand the flow. They don't know when to interject. They don't know when to go back into that topic. They don't know when to go to the next question sometimes. The flow is important. And I did so many in-person interviews that the flow is important, because if you're watching this, you can't be like, man, this shit boring. And there's times I did interviews with people and I thought they was boring. I'm like, I'm not putting this interview out. You was boring. You seem uninterested. You're not media trained. You ain't gonna have me looking crazy like I'm pulling teeth. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I'll be like, nah, this ain't coming out. This shit was boring. You know, so I think people think they could just do interviews, and anybody can do interviews, but the flow, it gotta just be one on top of the other. You know what I'm saying? Like me, first of all, I've never wrote an interview question down. I have an outline that I go in the interview with in my head. I say, yo, I gotta hit this topic. I gotta hit this topic, and I gotta hit this topic with the person. So I create the outline in my head automatically. It can be something that's current that's going on with them. So I try to get that out. I ain't gonna give y'all all the sauce, but you know, you could, even if I give you the recipe, you can't duplicate it. And I see a couple of people trying to, but they be falling short too, because they too arrogant to know that the show is not about you. It's about the guests. So when you start talking about yourself and, yeah, because you automatically fucked up the flow. You automatically messed up the flow. The best thing is to have the guests say as much as possible, and without you injecting yourself and what you're about in the interview. It should never be about you. It should be about what you want to know and what you're extracting. And even if you know it, if you know something, that's the best time to extract the information, because that don't mean the people know that. So you're going to, say certain things. I've interviewed people that I've known certain things, and there wasn't even nothing personal or nothing that they should hide from, but I know because I heard it, and I get to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, was this, that, and the third? And you have to be on that interview, man. You got to be on the flow. And that's why my Max B is considered to be one of the greatest interviews of all time. Minute he finished talking, so I go there. The Max B interview was so deep because I didn't know what I was going there to talk to him about. And I'm going to talk to y'all about that when I do my story time about the Max. I didn't know what we was going to talk about. I didn't even know what he was doing. I did an interview with Max B already. That wasn't my first interview. When he shot the video for Blow Me a Dub with Jordan, we already did an interview. So, Fendi was like, yo, Max want to do an interview. Like, we just did one. He's like, nah, but he want to do another one. Like, do another one for what? Oh, this time he want to go in. Go in on what? He want to go in on everybody. I'm like, go in on who? So it's like, I don't really understand. Even like I told y'all, when the first time y'all saw me in Alley Vegas, that's the first time I ever met that man a day in my life. I didn't know him. Never spoke to him. Didn't follow him on social media. I didn't even know him. I met him sitting there talking to him. I knew of him. He didn't really know who I was. He knew of me. But if you see us talking, you would think we've known each other for 10 years. I met him that day. I met him sitting in front of me. It's the first time we ever talked. So a lot of these guys be having previous or past histories, and the person will know something about the individual and still not know how to extract certain information from them. Like, if you privy to certain information, you're supposed to say stuff to get the audience or get that from. But it is a skill, because many people have said to me what they don't want to talk about. And I say, damn. Okay, you don't want to talk about that? Nah, you talking about that. How can I get you to talk about that? You know, how could I get you to talk about that? And that's where you play the mental chess. That's where you say, yo. Because you notice people go in for the kill. They be like, yo, what happened with you and such and such? Did he really slap you? And it's like, you doing that like that, they're going to automatically get defensive. They might automatically get mad at you. It could change the flow of the argument. That's why you see these viral moments of people who's getting interviewed getting mad and, you know, wanting to fight and all that. I'm like, that should never happen in the interview, because at the end of the day, it's your guest. It's your guest. You're supposed to respect your guest wishes, be fair, be firm, and get the content how you got to get it. But dudes think, oh, I want to go viral, so I'm going to ask him some reckless shit. And then I'd be like, damn, he could actually say, don't put that footage out. And if I put it out, shit, I put out some, yo, listen, I had some J.R. Ryder footage. And I put out the audio from the footage. He got a strike on my channel for that shit. I promise you. I had some J.R. Ryder footage where he just went in. It's before he went to prison. And I told him I was going to put it out. Then when he came home, he was like, don't put it out. Have I ever tried to make somebody look bad? Nah, I don't, you know. I think I get more answers out of people because they feel comfortable. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm going to ask you what I need to ask you, but I'm not going to attack you. And that comes from knowing how to talk to people, and that comes from having home training. See, people think, yo, I'm going to go in, and, you know, so you automatically going in the situation trying to cause controversy. You going in the situation trying to go viral. Now, what if a person pull out a gun and clap you? What if they stab you? What if their entourage beat you up? So I always think, you know what? I don't want to get in conflict with you. You know, we just kicking it. And there could be times where you be like, nah, I don't really want to talk about that. All right, cool. Now, my thing is, okay, how do I get them to talk about this? See, that's when I feel like I'm outsmarted. So I sit there and be like, nah, you talking about that. As long as it ain't nothing criminal. But nah, you ain't going to skate with all that. You know what I'm saying? And some people are hard to interview because they're boring. All right. I said this before. Oh, shit, I got to do the story time on the Prodigy interview. So the Prodigy interview that I did, it's on the Forbes DVD channel. In the beginning, I don't think Prodigy knew I was coming to interview him. He didn't know me. The first 7 minutes of the interview, you can see he was one word in me. He was short answers. So I said, man, this interview going to suck. I got to change this pace somehow. So now that's when you go in that bag and you say, yo, you know what? I know what to do to get him out of the shell and make him trust me. And I think I said to him, yo, it was at a particular time, niggas was saying you was nicer than Nas. Did you hear that? Pow, right there. I complimented him. I put him at a pedestal that not too many people could go. Niggas was saying you was nicer than Nas. So he started smiling. He's like, yeah, man. I was like, got him. All right, we good now. Rest in peace to Prodigy. I was like, good. All right, now let's go. And I can ask him anything now because it was stale. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work, man. He don't really want to do this. I gotta change the pace. Remember, I don't write questions down. All of this is a vibe. So if his vibe is, yeah, watch it again if you get a chance. He was one word in me, short answers. I'm like, shit, this interview gonna suck. Now, this is prior to, yo, Camp Gaddafi, get the fuck up out of here. I don't rock with dude, and I don't even want his name mentioned on my channel. So now you up out of here. Anybody who was ever disrespectful to me, we not gonna give them no love. Seriously. We ain't giving them no love. And I think y'all trying to do that on purpose, and it ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna block you. So you could do it. But I remember him asking me, like where I was from and all. And I'm like, I'm from BK. So, you know, we started building, and then I knew it was gonna be a dope interview. And I asked him about like Sherm the Worm. Shout out to Sherm the Worm. I spoke to Sherm the Worm last month. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, Sherm the Worm. And he just opened up to everything. You watch that Prodigy interview, that's like one of the most in-depth interviews besides the therapist interview. I thought the therapist interview that Prodigy did with the therapist was fire. I love that interview. It's certain cheat codes with interviews. 50 Cent's a cheat code. You're never going to get a whack interview. I don't feel like 50 has ever really been challenged, though, in an interview. And when I say challenge, I think people take what he say on face value and just run with it. And I don't think people ask him critical questions. It's like the same questions. I think Cameron is a cheat code. I got a Cameron interview somewhere. It was around the time he was doing a Dipset West thing. It's somewhere around here. I got a Cameron interview. But I be searching for content, and I be searching for content. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like, and it's gonna sound weird, in respect to anybody who do it, this is not personal to you. I'm not targeting you, so if you take it personal, who gives a fuck anyway? And I'm telling you, I'm not targeting you. I don't like Instagram interviews. I don't like Instagram interviews. Just something about them. I don't like Instagram interviews. Instagram live interviews, don't like it. I'm not a real big fan of StreamYard either. I don't think StreamYard has the clarity that I want. You see how crystal clear I am? I haven't seen anybody really capture that on StreamYard. So StreamYard interviews, I don't like. When people be like, yo, just drop the link, and I'll be like, nigga, ain't no link to drop. Like, we really have to set this up. Like, we really gotta, do a screen, and, we really, this is templates. Like, this ain't no, this ain't that, when anybody can just pop on. Because a lot of times when people pop on StreamYard, they go on from their phone, and it's just a certain quality that I like to have. So I don't like StreamYard. And I don't like StreamYard audio sometimes too. Sometimes the audio from StreamYard is not good. I'm very, very big on audio. So that's why I spend the money on certain things that I need to have good audio. I don't like IG live interviews. I don't like and no matter how much, all right, let me say this too. No matter what you feel about Vlad, aesthetically, it looks top-notch quality. No matter what you say about No Jumper, the quality. But no matter what you say about Cam Capone. So respectfully, some of the niggas who's winning, they content look great. Can't front on nobody. I ain't gonna front on nobody camera work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front on nobody camera work. Their camera work look great. So that's why I want to see like Philly First 48 come up a little bit more. They got great camera work. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of. You'll see me in certain people comment sometime like, "Yo, this shit look amazing." Cause this is where I come from. I come from directing videos, so when it look good, I'm gonna let it be known. Will's Universe, you can hit me on a private, and I'll let you know. That's consultation stuff. So I'm not gonna endorse anything or any platform that I'm not getting paid to do. That's one thing. I'll just tell you what I don't like. But some people like StreamYard. They like when 17 people could drop in. I just don't like it because being that so many people use it, it's very easy to your shit to look like his shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I could just go different places with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, what if somebody can only do an interview on IG Live? Then they got to step their game up. Q Smitty, they gotta step their game up. If you can only do an interview on IG Live, then I don't want to do no interview with you. Come on, man. First of all, it's too much technology for somebody to say what they can only do in 2025. Because if they want to find a site to spank their monkey, they gonna find the best site, right? They looking for an IG chick that's shaking her funky ass or a dude that's got the most tattoos in his face and got the most ops. They'll find that, right? They're going to find stuff. See, think about it. We don't even be directing people to stuff. They just find it now. So you mean to tell me you can't take 5 minutes to do research on your aesthetics of your product? So I don't give nobody no out. I be like, yo, man, you gotta figure it out. Why you not looking into it? So Corey Holcomb, I looked at when the Godfrey and Lord Jamar thing was going on, I like that. I also like to do I was watching the anti Flat Earth dude, Dave. I was watching some of his content. Joe Rogan be cool sometimes, but no, I never use AI for nothing yet. But I very, very aware of it. I already got a show on here, How to Start a Podcast, but you got to be a member. Kyla Avery can see it. But all the members can see certain content. So I seen a little clip of some Terrence Howard stuff. I didn't watch it. But he tripped me out when he said 1 times 1 doesn't equal 1. And there was people jacking that shit. I was like, it was called the times tables, right? Anyway, I ain't even gonna go there because if you do two times, it's 4. If you do one time, it's 1. It's called the times tables. Like one, you know, I was like, nah. Like, and people was like, yeah, that's deep. I'm like, it's really not deep. It's called the times tables. You do one time, it's 1. You do two times, it's 4. If I hold up 2 twice, 2 times, how many is that? 2 and 2 times. If I hold up one time, it's 1. That's not even, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know how else to break that down. You do two times, you're going to get 4. You do one time, you're going to get 1. Think about that. Like, it wasn't that serious. Niggas like 1 times 1, it can't be 1. Huh? Why not? Like, the fuck are you talking about? And plus, a lot of that stuff is a little over my head. It don't really resonate with me. Respectfully, I like content. Sometimes that's going to help me figure out ways to pay this internet bill and my car insurance and shit like that. Like, shit that got something to do with the sun, moon, stars, and quasars. That should be cool. But this shit don't really be having nothing to do with nothing. It just feels good to know that, I guess, sometimes. Because when are you going to apply that in life? Like, what that got to do with anything? That's how I be sometimes. Like, okay, this shit sound good, but still got to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, phone bills still do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, you know. But I'm searching. It's gonna be somebody. Damn, bro, man, I need to sometimes make note of these good people that I watch sometimes, because I watch some content one day and I just love the camera work. Love the camera work. So, all right, another thing that I'm doing as far as content, I really want to start curating Spotify playlists based off of what I personally listen to and what I personally like, because I listen to a lot of stuff. And then the next thing, what I want to do is I want to do a segment on YouTube just about records that I like. Because sometimes I'll be listening to stuff and I don't think y'all be up on it. And maybe y'all do be up on it, but it be stuff that I really, really, it be songs that I love. And if you follow me on X, aka Twitter, I'm always posting a song that I love. And it be some fire. So I need to start bringing that to YouTube. The only thing is that I can't play the music, but I can direct you to dope music, because it'd be shit that I'll be listening to. And it might not be a project. It might just be a record in particular. And because a lot of people got dope songs out, but they just don't have a outlet to be heard by the masses, and some of them do. You know, like, I'm a type of person that if I like a song, I'll listen to it like 10 times in a row. I'm just like that. Like, I'm like, yo, play that again. You know what I'm saying? Just certain songs just make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? So I like stuff, especially like when I'm in the gym. You know, sometimes you want to increase your heart rate. Sometimes you want to slow it down. Sometimes you're just chilling. So I would curate a playlist that's gonna give you all of those emotions. You know, an album, artist, when you make an album, your album should sound like or be equivalent to a movie. I would do it every 2 weeks, Stanley. Your album should be like a movie. So you have the intro, the plot, the sex scene, the climax, the ending. That's how I think an album should be. So, yeah. I'm gonna start doing that because there's some songs that I just love that's out. And I'd be like, yo, y'all ain't hear that? And sometimes I don't really know the artist personally, but I came across the record and I'd be like, man, that shit was fire. So, yeah, I'm gonna definitely put that together soon. But I just had a question tonight. It's Friday. I know I got to get up and go to urgent care in the morning. And again, I want to put more content out. But again, I ain't trying to have nobody Willie D me. I be working too hard on my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because if you think about, just think about any album you love. You got the intro. The intro is the intro, but that second song is very, very important. So you think about any album you love, that second song was important. And then you're gonna have them album. Yeah, man, I sent you the math. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have different things that that makes the album perfect. So, you know, if you listen to like Life After Death, he took you different places. He gave you story shit, and then he, you know, got his songs about chicks, but it might not be a girl song per se. It might be a song about smashing chicks, you know. So that's the sex scene, you know. And when people construct albums, all of that is thought about. They say, yo, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, and we got to do that. And that's how the album is constructed. Thoughts on Kanye? I did a whole Kanye show. You could watch it. I don't understand Kanye West. You know, honestly, I don't. And I don't feel sorry for him. Shit, many people lost their moms. I lost my mom, my pops, my brother, my aunt. I've lost a lot of people in my life. And one thing I never did was lashed out at nobody. You get it? So I think Kanye relates to a demographic of losers. It could sound funny what I'm saying, but Kanye relates to a demographic of losers. I don't have excuses for nothing. I don't make no excuses for whatever it is. Yo, I got to deal with it. I got to face it. It is what it is. Ain't nothing like this because of that. Fuck that because of that. That because of that is going to exist whether I like it or not. So that's not going to stop me from anything. You know, a real man going to get to it. We can't go through it. We going to go around it. We going to go under it. We going to go over it. There's no excuse for not achieving nothing. Nobody could stop what's intended for you. Nothing can stop that. They could hinder it. They could slow it down, but anything that's intended for you will be for you if you stay persistent, stay consistent, and just stay the course. That's it. I know frustration kick in. There's sometimes you want to quit. Frustration kick in sometimes, and you want to lash out. But that's why I don't lash out at people, because first of all, I'm present in the moment of anything that happened to me is my fault. Even if somebody else did some shit to me they ain't had no business doing, it's my fault. Even when I got rocked today, I was like, damn, what if I didn't come down here? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I think. I'd be like, nah, I ain't making no excuse for something that happened. I'm always going to take accountability. Like, yo, you know what? I should have stayed my ass in the house then, or I should have took the other way. You know, that's just how I think. I ain't like this because, you know, my mother died when I was 2, because I see so many people who talk that shit, and I be like, you're a bitch. I don't know how to be, you know, respectfully, I don't know how to be a bitch. And the bitch has nothing to do with gender. I don't know how to. So, like, even when a lot of these punk-ass dudes be like, oh, you always whining. Whining about what? I be whining for niggas who can't talk, who don't got a platform, because I'm good. Like I say, I'm me, my life is straight. But what about those who get done dirty that can't explain their case? What about those who things happen to them and people sweeping under the rug? Why you think I always was interviewing underdogs? I was interviewing people who was blackballed. I was interviewing people who never got a voice. Niggas wasn't interviewing Charlie Rock, LD, Ali Vegas. You know, you just go on and on. They wasn't interviewing those people. So when people be like, oh, you always, I ain't mad at shit. Have you never heard me say, I don't like how I live? You don't never heard me say, I'm broke? You never heard me say, yo, man, my car need a tune up? You never heard me say none of that shit. You never heard me complain about my life. I talk about cultural shit. And a lot of people who rebut that, and a lot of people who have something to say, ain't even in the culture. So you wouldn't know anyway. You would be the dude selling your soul, because look what you do for free. You would be the dude that do this and do that. But you steady saying, oh, he this, he that. You're not even in the culture. Even when dude used to be on here with me, he don't know shit about the culture. He never was in the culture. Never. That's why sometimes I used to get a little frustrated, like, yo, you're not qualified to talk about that. Don't talk about that. Do you talk about publishing? Oh, you keep saying publishing? Okay, I'm going to bring a publishing expert on here so he could explain what publishing is, because listening to you, you're going to steer people wrong. But I realize some people are very, very persuasive, you know, and they, you know, that's what comes with wisdom, the wise words being spoken. They're very, very persuasive with they talk. So sometimes you'll listen to a dumbass nigga and think he know what he talking about because he knew how to spew it. But that's a language too. That's the art of seduction. You know, that's why sometimes I be telling y'all what to watch out for when people talking to you, and certain code words that people use that is going to seduce you, because it's very, very soothing to your nervous system, where you like, yo, man, you sound like you for me. What's the best time for war? When a person think it's peace. Nah, we ain't got no problems, man. We all good. Pow. So people gonna sit before you and act like they care. They don't care. They don't care. I see people, I remember niggas used to come on here and say, yo, I'm trying to make this amount. How are you trying to make money by doing a live stream? You trying to make money? It's the first. I got to go on. Hopefully I can make a couple of dollars. Make a couple of dollars? How do you make money? I'm confused. Nigga ain't say I could get views. Nigga depending on cash apps and super chats. And we people who, we don't hear, yo, nobody really congratulates you. You don't hear words you don't hear positive affirmations from people. Rarely do people say, yo, good job. All we see on social media, yo, rest in peace to my sister, aunt, cousin, dog, Benjamin. Yo, he was in the family for 17 years. I'm hurt right now. I don't know what to do. And then you see all these people condolences. It's like one big ass sad show on social media. That's why I pick and choose. That's why I post me swinging my little cousin around. I didn't post on none of my social media that I got into an accident today, because I don't want that attention. But I want you to see me smiling with my little cousin and swinging him around, his little 74-pound ass. I want you to see that. I wanted you to see me smiling. I want you to see me having fun with my family, because that's the most important thing to me. Not when I'm in a bad, vulnerable moment. You know, but people, just when you just look at your timeline, it's just always RIP. And then now some people are doing shit because it's an instant gratification that they get. Because if you post something of substance, nobody's going to respond to that. Post some negative shit. People will just, I mean, all due respect, I'm not trying to disrespect somebody who passed or not talk about, give somebody love who passed. People will go find a picture of somebody and be like, rest in peace to this person. Now, me, on the other hand, respectfully, I'd be like, yo, I don't know that nigga. If you did good movies, I know, that's one thing. But to make a post, so we all supposed to sit here and be like, yeah, man, he was a good actor and all that. Yo, man, let's remember them for the good thing. You know, yo, R.I.P., that's it. But the shit that people do, it's always coming from a place of pain and trauma. And I don't be wanting to bond with nobody off that shit. I'm telling you, I don't be wanting to bond with nobody. I just don't. I don't want to trauma bond with you. We do not have the same problems. We don't. And I'm not going to find a problem that's a commonality. I'd rather find something that we got in common that we rock off of than to say, yeah, man, I had the chicken pox when I was 4 too. Yeah, man, I still... Because that's all I see. And when I see men doing it, I be like, these niggas is bitches. We're supposed to be cheering the children and the women up. Where's the uplifting shit? We done seen people sit there. We in the last days. China's about to attack America and be ready. I done seen all that shit and I be like, y'all be falling for this shit? Damn, nigga can tell y'all anything. And that's why I said, if I entertained or use what I know for all the wrong purposes, I would be a multi-millionaire. If I entertain that devil on this shoulder and let that devil speak to me, more than me speaking to me, speaking life into me, I would be out of control. Because I would just know how to manipulate. I would just know how to steal. I would know how to do all of that because I'm from that. So, but if you from that, then you leave that because you know there's nothing further in it. But now clout, everything. Look at something that I said today. Y'all don't follow me on X, so y'all don't know. Y'all need to follow me. But this is real shit. I want y'all to see this. This is important. It's important. I said being lusty and thirsty works as a disadvantage. All a female has to do is show some cleavage or they ass and you forget the mission. Pussy should never be the mission. If you've been getting it, how are you so easily impressed? That's how I think. That's like how my mind is. You can't show me a titty or show me your leg and I see your ass and I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. You that easily distracted? Or you can't get nothing done. And I don't trust men who don't have discipline. Anybody who I know that's into trying to get nude pictures and say all types of, I don't trust nobody like that. I don't trust nobody like that because you forgot what the mission is. You forgot what we're supposed to be doing. You worried about instant gratification and what do you get? You get what I'm saying? You said you got people that's millionaires chasing clout. Those people on the internet are so easy to manipulate. I mean, the sad thing is that P.T. Barnum said a sucker is born every day. You know, unfortunately, some people are here, that's their goal. To manipulate, to get what they want. And it's easy to get. You know, that's why they had telethons. They had millionaire, rich movie stars, entertainers, actresses telling you to give your money to the poor. The millionaires, the movie stars, the actors, the actresses, the athletes were asking the poor people to give money to other poor people. And people was doing it. That's why Dr. Umar ain't build no school, because all he got to do is come on there and say three times, say some bullshit, and people be like, that's real shit. It is? So common sense is just gone now, right? There's no such thing as common sense. We're just dealing with emotions, feelings, and how we feel about that person. Common sense is just gone now. That's just a lost art. You know, like, because you never say to yourself, that just don't make no sense. Like, I just broke down the timetable to you. See how easy that was? He sat there for a while explaining it, and you had people like, yeah. If I hold up one time, it's one. If I hold up two times, that's four. What's the big mystery? What's the big, but again, we like mystical, spooky shit. And that's not gonna get you out of having to pay your fucking rent. That's not gonna get you out of how to pay your mortgage. It's not gonna get you further. Having this fake knowledge, that's how they trick you. That's why it's called trick knowledge, because they tricking you into thinking that they telling you some shit that you don't know, but you need to know it. But you don't need to know the bare life essentials. You don't need to know that if you leave the stove on boiling water, you can burn the house down. You know the bare necessities of life. Nobody talks about that. That's why when you see me, I post it with the little children of my family. I post myself having fun, eating, doing shit that real people do. But again, it's easy to go to and pull at people's heartstrings because everybody's like this anyway. And all you gotta do is feed that. Feed that. The only time they happy, they clanking drinks. They think they gotta go on vacation. Dude think he gotta be in a strip club. Think he gotta have an outfit on. Look at the shit that make people happy. Look at the shit that make people happy. And anything that you can buy should never make you happy anyway, because it could be purchased. Anything that you can buy really doesn't even have no real value. Because value is shit that the most valuable shit can't be bought. You can't buy loyalty, trust. You can't buy loyalty, trust, or love. You can't buy those things. Because the minute you run out of money, you run out of loyalty, love, and trust. And truth. But, you got people who surround people because they in the right place, because they need some bags. And then when that shit run out, dude be by himself, doing all types of shit. I mean, look at, and I'm going to close on this note because I talk for a living and I'll sit here and talk till 4 a.m. Have y'all seen Welvin lately? Have y'all seen A-Town? Look how they were internet sensations who was getting attention for all the wrong reasons, who really looking at them, we could see that they had special needs and people were kind of taking advantage of them and laughing at them, not with them. Now look at them now. And then we'll just discard people. You know what I'm saying? You see Welvin Gibbs, could you imagine what his mouth smells like? Look at his jibs. But he was somebody to exploit, somebody to take advantage of. And, A-Town, we watched him grab a jump off. How was it for him? So I don't follow a lot of shit that I see, but I do be searching for like-minded content, good content. There is some people out there that got great content, but it's for it to be so much, you got to do a lot of searching. And just because somebody do interviews, that don't mean I'm gonna watch it, because I'm very, very critical of interviews. Very, very critical. Some shit sometimes y'all think is a good interview. I think they be horrible sometimes, but I don't really give my opinion on it because some people will be like, they think it's dope. Okay. Like Kanye was doing some beat, academics posts, some beat Kanye was doing. I'm like, this beat is corny as shit. Some shit he was waving his arm and shit. I'm like, this fucking beat is corny. Now I can hear Jadakiss on it. I can hear West Side Gun. I'm like, damn, niggas got y'all like that? Shit is corny. The music just ain't dope to me. If it's dope, I'm going to say it's dope. But, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn G, baby, the problem that we have with us as black people, it's like a prerequisite. We got black culture, and then we got nigga culture. For some reason, we think to be accepted by black people, we got to be niggas. Remember what they were saying about me last year? Oh, he can't be no street guy. He's too smart. Look, he's smart. He's intelligent. Remember when them goofballs were saying that? Oh, he's intelligent. So now we penalizing black men for being intelligent. That means I'm going to bust your chops because I'm intelligent? No. I'm intelligent. That's how I skate through life with no felonies. And I'm legal. That's what intelligence gets you. That don't mean I ain't partaking shit, but I was intelligent. But look at the knock on dudes that's intelligent. So I gotta have white shit in the corner of my mouth, black ass lips. I gotta be doing this every shit. I gotta be sipping shit to be accepted by niggas? Nah, I'm good. And a lot of these dudes who be having shit to say, I wouldn't hang around you anyway, though. And some of y'all niggas, we beat y'all up. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas would beat you up. Seriously. Every time I say seriously, my phone does something. But yo, I'm gonna put out some audio. I got a lot of good audio from previous shows. I need you to check out my website. I got doggiediamondsnofilter.com, but my main website is Doggie Diamonds TV. This is how Doggie Diamonds No Filter looks. This is like strictly for the podcast. doggiediamondsnofilter.com. I got a URL for everything. I ain't gonna front. I'll just get a URL on this doggiediamondsnofilter.com. There's different ways to listen to the podcast, whatever your thing is. I'm on Amazon Music. Man, I'm everywhere. So I need y'all to listen to the music. No thanks. Man, just show me my podcast. You know what? I got to sign in, and I don't feel like doing that. They want me to sign in. I'm not doing that. But I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on Spotify. Doggie Diamonds No Filter. I'm everywhere. So it shouldn't be nobody that say, I didn't hear it. I don't know where it's at. No, I'm everywhere. I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm on, I think I'm on Pandora. I'm on Pandora too. Except Cookie. Yeah, I'm on Pandora. I'm on everything. Just put in Doggie Diamonds No Filter or just go to doggiediamondsnofilter.com. Your choice is here. What else is up in here? More? Oh, Player FM. I'm on everything. Deezer, Cashbox. I'm on everything. So I don't want to hear, I didn't hear your audio. I don't know where it's at. You lying. I'm everywhere. So yeah, I'm out. I gotta go to urgent care. It's midnight. I need my rest. So I'll go to urgent care, give me a haircut, do this Max B thing for y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Shout out to anybody who might have sent the Cash App. Shout out to anybody who sent a super chat tonight. Until next time, I gotta blow my nose because I'm getting a little nasal, and I'm out. Peace.